Commerce students to Exam Tips and Tricks channel. Today let's understand one more question from the model question paper based on common size balance sheet. So this is preparation of common size balance sheet based on the chapter analysis of financial statement. Analysis of financial statement is a process of critical evaluation of the financial information contained in the financial statements in order to understand and make decisions regarding operations of the firm. It is a process of critical evaluation of the financial information contained in the financial statement. Analysis means simplification of financial data given in the financial statements by methodical classification. Interpretation means explaining the meaning and significance of the data. Significance of analysis of financial statement, that it has a greater importance to finance manager, top management, trade payables, lenders, investors, labor unions, others like economists, researchers. Users of financial statement analysis will be management, owners, trade creditors, lenders, labor unions, economists, researchers, government agencies. Objectives of financial statement analysis will be to ascertain the relative importance of different components of the financial position of the firm, to identify reasons for changes in the profitability, financial position of the firm, to judge the ability of the firm to repay its debt, and assessing short-term as well as long-term liquidity position of the firm. Tools of analysis of financial statements: comparative statement, common size statement, trend analysis, ratio analysis, cash flow statement. So these are the various tools of financial statement analysis. So one of the tool called as common size statement. Common size statements are the statement which indicate relationship of different items of a financial statement with a common item by expressing each item as a percentage of that common item. Analysis of financial statement in the form of common size statement or as component percentage statement is called vertical analysis. It facilitates inter-firm comparison of the company's position with the related industry. It is also useful in intra-firm comparisons. Preparation of common size statements. The following procedure that may be adopted: list out absolute figures in rupees at 2 points of time. Choose a common base. For example, revenue from operations may be taken as a base in case of statement of profit and loss, and total assets or total liabilities in case of balance sheet. So here is a question based on preparation of common size statement. So in this question, 2 years 2023 as well as 2024's balance sheet figures given in the question: share capital, reserves, long-term loans, trade payables, as well as assets, fixed assets as well as current assets, building, land, inventory, cash and cash equivalents of 2 years that is given in the question. And here we need to prepare common size balance sheet of Indian Industries Limited by the way of applying proper format. So the first entry in this common size balance sheet will be, here is a format of common size balance sheet. Particulars: absolute amount of 2 years, percentage of total assets or total liabilities. That has to be expressed in terms of percentages. So the first entry is equity and liabilities. That is the first main head, and that shareholders fund. Under shareholders fund, share capital as well as reserves and surplus. Share capital, reserves and surplus. Here only reserves given, that must be recorded. So share capital of 2 years, that must be recorded, 2 lakh 50,000. Reserves 1 lakh 50,000. Next, long-term loan is one of the non-current liability. So non-current liabilities. So long-term borrowings. Here long-term loan is given, that must be recorded. The value is 2 lakh 1 lakh. Next, current liabilities. Under current liabilities, trade payables given in the question, that has to be recorded. The value will be 3 lakh and 4 lakh. Finally, total liabilities. Total liabilities. Here total liabilities are considered as a common base 100. Now percentage of various components of first year, second year, that must be calculated. Here share capital, the percentage of this component can be calculated by dividing 2 lakh divided by 8 lakh. So the total liability is also given in the question as 8 lakh 9 lakh. So 2 lakh divided by 8 lakh into 100. So the value will be 25%. Again 1 lakh divided by 8 lakh into 100. So the value will be 12.5%. In the same way, 2 lakh divided by 8 lakh into 100, that will be 25%, 37.5%. So these are the percentages of various components of first year, that is 2023. In the same way, second year's values, that has to be measured. Second year is 2024. In the same way, total liabilities, that must be taken as a common base. So here this value can be found, 2,50,000 divided by 9 lakh into 100. So the value will be 27.78%. In the same way, 1,50,000 divided by 9 lakh into 100. So the value will be 16.67%. So other two values will be 11.11%, 44.44%. So this is how these components in the balance sheet, that has to be analyzed. Next, total assets. So next is consideration of assets. So Roman number 2, that is assets. Under that, first item will be non-current asset. Under non-current asset, building, plant, current asset, inventory as well as cash and cash equivalents. Cash and cash equivalents, that is given. So building 2 years values 2 lakh, 2,50,000. Again plant 2 lakh, 2,50,000. Current asset inventory 3,50,000, 3,25,000, 50,000 cash and cash equivalents, 50,000, 75,000. So total assets given as 8 lakh, 9 lakh. Now percentage of these components by the way of considering total assets as a common base. Here total assets, that must be considered as common base. So 2 lakh divided by 8 lakh into 100, that will be 25%. Again 2 lakh divided by 8 lakh into 100, which is 25%. In the same way, other values 43.75%, 6.25%. Here this total asset is considered as a common base, that is 100%. So 2024's values will be 2,50,000 divided by 9 lakh into 100, 2,50,000 divided by 9 lakh into 100. In that way, so the values will be 27.77%, 27.77%. Other two values 36.11%, 8.33%. So this is our common size balance sheet that has to be analyzed. So these are the values belonging to 2 years. So 2 years values that must be analyzed, and common size balance sheet has to be prepared in this way. Thank you.